Looking back, we did a lot last year and made plenty of great memories I want to make sure that we never forget. By spending more hours than I care to admit since December 31st piecing this together, I'm doing my best to ensure we won't. I've created annual review videos in the past, though they've evolved over time as my tools have gotten better. Sadly, I find that I almost never look back at the thousands of photos I file away, but I do watch these movies, especially on those days when I'm tired, down, or uninspired. They remind me just how good life is, that I need to remember the good times as I struggle through the bad. It's already mid-March, and I'm just now getting last year's year in review wrapped. I've been swamped with professional and personal responsibilities, so there's that, but also 2019 was a momentous year. As the days passed, I took hundreds and hundreds of pictures and a number of videos, and so did the girls. While most of 2019 was sitting strapped to my desk, working through a challenge, racing the clock to meet a deadline, chopping, cooking, and cleaning in the kitchen, or any number of other tasks, now and then we got to get away and use our precious time to have new experiences and keep up worthwhile traditions. What of it I managed to capture in images has resulted in a lengthy video reflective of the year in its entirety, clocking in at 25 minutes. And that's before I add this introduction to it. Some of you may not have time or inclination to watch the whole thing, which I understand, of course. Some of you will be more interested in some parts of it and less so in others. So I'll just tell you what's here, and you can skip around as you like, or watch the movie over multiple sittings. And then I'll lay out more precisely the timing of all the sections in the description below, too. In mostly chronological order, through this movie, I show here our life in the year 2019 in Westchester County and in and around New York City, with trips every couple months to Tulsa. Valerie and I snuck in a couple other quick trips too. Starting in January, Valerie had a long weekend conference in New Orleans. Having never before visited, I came along, explored the city while she was in meetings, and planned a fun night out, just the two of us, and we had the best time. That's covered the first couple minutes of the movie, starting at roughly the 5-minute mark. After that, we move into our February trip to Tulsa, and then the first signs of spring and March around New York, followed by the New York Auto Show in April, starting at about 7 minutes and 45 seconds, and back to Tulsa again at 8.5 minutes, starting with a couple special Porsches. Starting at 10 minutes, 10 seconds, we visit Denver and have other adventures with the beautiful warmer weather in May. In June, we wrap up 2nd and 5th grade, celebrate birthdays, and spend a day in Manhattan with my brother David, starting at 12 minutes, 15 seconds. Then in July, David and I meet up in South Carolina to pick up his new BMW M2 Competition at a little after 15 minutes in. Next was the annual August road trip. While I published a much longer video at the time with details on each of the locations, here I cut the lengthy intro, trip maps, and most of the vertical footage out, corrected the sizing issue, and trimmed the longer video down to about 4.5 minutes, starting at about 18 minutes in. In September, the school year kicks off with our 3rd grader Gracie remaining at Edgewood and Hannah, now a 6th grader, moving on to Scarsdale Middle School. Meanwhile, Valerie, Hannah, and I experience a special concert in Manhattan, starting at a little after 22.5 minutes. In October, at about 24 minutes, we checked out a fleet of exotic and classic cars at the annual Scarsdale Concourse, and then I flew home to Tulsa for the annual Walk to Defeat ALS. You can see that starting at about 24 minutes and 20 seconds. Then in November, after a long battle with ALS, we lost Dad. I was overwhelmed by the outreach at the time, much of which I still haven't been able to respond to. It's all been a lot to handle. So many fine people reached out and gave lovely tributes for Dad, and I tried my best to capture them here. That part of the movie starts at just shy of 25 minutes. If you know me and not Dad and want to learn more about him or knew him and love him and want to hear from others who felt the same way, I created a YouTube channel with professionally produced videos from the greatest party ever. Through the generosity of Debbie Zinke, we celebrated Dad's life at Philbrook in January 2016, emceed by John Erling, with vocals by Annie Ellicott, and remarks and stories from a mix of Dad's close friends over the decades. It was truly a special night that's been captured for all. I'll link to that in the description below too. Finally, the 2019 movie wraps with the holidays in Tulsa, concluding the year and looking ahead to 2020, starting at about 28 minutes and 15 seconds.
Riding on the city of New Orleans, Illinois Central, Monday morning rail. 15 cars and 15 restless riders, 3 conductors, 25 sacks of mail. All along the southbound Odyssey, the train pulls out at Kankakee and rolls along past houses, farms, and fields.
Brent, what are you doing? Oh my God. What are you doing? Here, just stay in the line.
social stats. I just want 4 walls and Adobe slats for my girls. I don't need sing like I care about material things like a social stats. I just want 4 walls and Adobe slats for my girls. There isn't much that I feel I need.
In June, David came to visit us for the day and see Pink Floyd legend David Gilmour's guitars before being auctioned off for $21 million at Sotheby's in Rockefeller Center. Then you see a few highlights from Hannah's jellyfish presentation and Gracie's 8th birthday. I don't always capture the Kodak moment because I'm living in it, but here's what I did capture. Now, to help you appreciate what you're seeing and hearing here, every time I visit Tulsa, I sacrifice a good chunk of one weekend day to stay out late the night before, walk around downtown Tulsa, and take in the sights and the scene. I just love it. On that night, on our June trip, I was walking up Main Street, a block and a half south of the legendary Cain's Ballroom, when I heard a jam band playing. I stopped in, loved what I heard, pulled up my phone, and started recording. seem to know what you're doing.
I've done this a bunch of times.
You'll have your hands at 9 and 3. You'll have your eyes up in the future, way ahead of the car. Don't slow down early. Don't brake early. Brake there. Fierce input. A panicky stop.
No, I'm supposed to be up here. I go, jeez. I'm sorry.
Can't you drive?
No. You okay?
Yeah.
Let me know if you get car sick.
Yeah.
Feeling bad.
Like $1 million.
We'll do a couple more laps, guys, and then we're going to switch to the number 1 driver. Brent, you come on back in the pits. Switch with David. I'm going to go set up these 2 cones.
Nice job, little brother.
Man, that's fun. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's pretty.
That's real nice. Oh my goodness gracious. Alright, ready?
Yep.
Been in a cave for 40 days, only a spark to light my way. I wanna give out, I wanna give in. This is our crime, this is our sin. But I still believe through the pain and through the grief, through the lies, through the storms, through the cries, and through the wars. Oh, I still believe. La, la, la. I'm flat on my back, out at sea, hoping these waves don't cover me. I'm turned and tossed upon the waves. When the darkness comes, I feel the grave, but I still believe. I still believe through the cold and through the heat, through the rain and through the tears, through the crowds and through the cheers. Oh, I still believe. La,
I still believe through the shame and through the grief, through the heartache, through the tears, through the waiting, through the years, for people like us in places like this. We need all the hope that we can get. Oh, I still believe.
Spirals of capitals and the twists of the script. Streets named for heroes that could almost exist. Fruit trees of Eden and the gardens that seem to float like smoke from a lithium dream. Cedar trees growing in the cool of the squares. Young women walking in the portals of prayer. The future class buildings and the past and the dress. The weddings of Holland and the wine bottomless. And the wrongs forgotten and all vengeance made right. The suffering birds put to sleep in the night. The future descending like a bright chandelier. The world is beginning and the gas in good cheer. Orion City, I went in with trade. It's hell to believe there ain't a hell of a chance. Well, we need a clear blue sky. The sun to shine, the breeze aside. And the old hometown, the streets I know, are wrapped up in royal blue. And I heard my friends laughing out across the fields. Girls in the gloaming and the birds on the wing. The rocks full of